Okay, so
It's got that mysterious.
once
quality
everybody's
about it.
taken their downtime actions, that's the end of downtime.
Yay!
We finish that off, and this is usually a good place to end the session.
Sure.
So let's do experience points, and then we'll call it for tonight.
XP, loot
So,
the body.
We'll go around and talk about experience. Let's start off with James. So James, you'll see there are a number of XP modifiers at the bottom of your whisper sheet. We need to go through those one at a time. If they occurred once, you get 1 XP for them. If they occurred multiple times, or you think you did them way more than normal, you can mark 2 experience. So this experience you guys get from these. You can place them in your insight, prowess, or resolve tracks if you want, which when you fill them up, you get another dot in one of the corresponding actions beneath those 3.
Yep.
Or you can put them into your playbook advancement track above the insight track. There you can look. It's right below the coin and stash.
Right,
when that fills up, you get an extra special ability.
Ooh.
But you have to decide where you're putting your experience. So let's go down the list for James's stuff and see what he gets for experience points. So the first thing it says there is...
Every time you roll a desperate action.
No. Yes, okay, so the next thing, because there was no desperate actions rolled here.
So you have 3 things particular to your
At the
class.
end of each session, after that part.
Yep.
So what's the first dot there?
You addressed a challenge with knowledge or arcane power. Clearly done.
Yes.
Yeah.
All
Do you
right.
think it's worth 1 or 2?
Well, multiple times is 2.
Yeah, that's the general consensus.
I feel like it's
So-
only worth 1 because it's a standard thing I would just do a lot.
Okay,
I
so
don't think that it was particularly a difficult situation or choice to make, and it's kind of my go-to move.
okay, now check the next one. So that's 1 we got so far.
You express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. I feel like that I was average there, but I did play it up all the time in terms of my character being that guy who like does the Scooby-Doo encouragement, trying to get Marco to do my plans because they're fun and entertaining,
Well,
and also being the kid who like wants to do risky things.
Well, you described yourself speaking to like the nobles of Charterhall as like a member of the Arkady family as well.
Sure.
Right. So that's
Background.
if you guys
Oh,
have
yeah.
suggestions,
Heritage.
by the way, when people are going around doing these things, something you remember, tell them so they can get experience and the
Mhm,
crew can grow.
mhm.
So okay.
So if you count that, I would say that I did it on 2
2.
levels. 1 for my job as a scion of a noble house,
Mhm.
and once as that other side of me
It's-
that messes with the crew's like
it's up to
more
you.
mature direction.
If you think that makes sense, if you think it's sufficient enough to gain XP for it.
Yeah, I feel like basically at this level, it's enough. At a higher level, it might be, if I keep doing it, it's less worthwhile because it's not as good RP if you just keep doing the same stuff all the
Sure.
time and trying to gain points for it. So I would say that between those 2, 3 is reasonable. Because 1 for the first one seems reasonable, but maybe it was 1.5. This one, 2 seems too much, maybe it's 1.5. But 3 between the 2 seems reasonable.
Okay, so 3, and then the next bullet.
You struggle with issues from your vice or traumas during the session, definitely didn't happen.
Okay, so 3 experience.
Yep.
Put those wherever you'd like.
I'm going to put them on the playbook.
Okay, well, let's go to you. First bullet point there.
Every time you roll a desperate action, mark it.
No, sorry. So after at the end of the session. So
So that's the
one.
first one.
I know.
You addressed a challenge with deception or influence. I feel like I
Definitely.
did that
100%.
100%.
Do you think it's worth 1 or 2 experience?
Well, I feel like I had to do it twice, I think, right? Like the first time I had to do it one way, and then the other time I had to do it another way, I think.
What? It was just a cop, right?
Yeah.
No, I think you could put it for twice because you did it for both yourself and him.
Well, what I also mean is that when you arrived...
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Okay, if you feel it's worth 2, take 2.
I feel like it's worth 2.
Okay.
It worked very effectively.
Next bullet.
You expressed your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. I didn't do that.
You don't think so? All right.
No, I don't really think so.
I guess like maybe only in downtime, really.
Which still counts. It totally counts. Anytime during the session.
I mean, I don't think I really did that, like, really significantly.
Okay, cool. Next, no XP for that one then. Next.
You struggled with issues from your vice or traumas during the session. I didn't do that either.
So 2 experience.
Yeah.
Put them wherever you'd like. Okay, Nick, on to you.
All right. I addressed a challenge with stealth or evasion by hiding in the fountain.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Do you
I'm
think
also-
it's worth
I'm
1 or
also-
2?
I mean, it was just the
Usually on the
once,
second
so
one,
Okay.
it's probably just one.
1?
But expressing belief,
Yeah.
drives, heritage, background, stealing from RK, and then
Yes.
stealing for training.
Okay.
I guess that's probably
Yeah,
2.
that totally makes sense.
So that's 3 and all.
Okay, 3 total.
I didn't struggle with
The
consequences of my vice, so not yet anyway.
And Ryan.
Putting those in the book.
You addressed a challenge with
exactly.
calculation or conspiracy. think I did
For sure.
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
1 or 2 worth.
I want to say 2 because I handled the whole situation of handing off and gaining his trust, and then also the whole conversation of bringing him around to the idea that he can play both sides.
Okay, cool.
I feel like that was like a 2-part sort of necessary process, not just to like get him into a position of like even being willing to like not bolt from me and that. So I think 2 for that.
All right.
You expressed your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. I don't think I did that.
Okay, and dealt with issues from your vice or trauma.
What is your vice?
My vice is obligation.
I think you did.
I guess my project is kind of that in a way too.
Because you're gathering info on the blue coats.
It's information that is both benefiting us here, but I'm very much aware that I'm doing it for selfish reasons also.
Cool. All right, so 3.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Next, we do the crew XP.
Cool.
So when the crew gains an experience level, you have 2 choices. You can get another crew upgrade. The first one you guys took was, or crew special ability. The first one you guys took was everyone steals. That gives you extra dots and prowl and stuff like that. But you can get extra ones once you fill up the crew's experience track, which is 8 long. Or you can gain 2 upgrades. Upgrades are things like a bigger vault, a boat, a carriage, quarters, that sort of stuff. But the crew has XP triggers just like you guys do.
Okay.
So
A yacht.
first,
Yes.
Stealth yacht.
An escape yacht.
Submarine.
execute a successful espionage, sabotage, or theft operation. Did you guys do that?
It was all of those things and more.
Gosh, I feel like we didn't do any of that.
Espionage, yes.
I
You
feel
were
like
in the
espionage
fountain.
definitely.
Oh,
applies.
espionage, that's true. We
It
did.
was
We
espionage.
tracked him down and got all this information about
Yeah.
how yes.
And
So the crew did
I
that.
stole his ring.
That is not a crew thing. You can't double dip. It was either yours or ours, and it was definitely not ours.
So you guys think that's
true.
1 or 2?
That's definitely true.
1 or
For
2
espionage?
For
Yeah.
this level,
There
I
were-
want to say 2
There were
for the same
multiple
argument I made
layers.
for myself.
There was the preparation and the execution. Both.
We argued a lot about the details.
Also, him
we
going
disagreed
around
a
and
lot.
spying on him too.
Okay.
That was
2.
the key of the espionage. That's why I'm making the point for that. Because that was the foundation
Yeah.
for like how we were able to pull this off.
Dun, 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 dun.
So you guys get 2 for that. Contend with challenges above your current station.
100%.
You think so?
We
We're
were daring.
0 and we're
we
pretending to be police and we're tangling with level 2
Fair enough.
people.
And we're
I just like the shroud.
Do you guys think it's 1 or 2?
Don't need a shadow.
At this level, I say 2
Well, no,
because
no.
we were
But it's just
overreaching.
what it is.
Again, later on, I would say it
Fully
would be worth less as we become more adept at it.
Okay. So 2.
We hit it a fountain for his sake.
James,
That's-
our crew name's the Shroud.
Well, okay, hold on 1 sec. Okay, so do you think it's worth 1 or 2? The bolster your crew's reputation or develop a new one? Did you bolster your daring reputation?
I'd say yes for that.
We were daring.
Well,
Yeah. The question is, how well do we know whether or not? Because reputation.
nobody
is one of
else
those-
like
there's
knows about it.
Yeah, there's like an in-game thing,
Do
right?
you think you represented your daring nature? Doesn't matter how the people
Yes.
perceive you.
Absolutely.
Do you think-
Oh,
okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
we were pretty daring.
If anything, I would say it's worth 2 for no reason than the fact that not only did we recruit this guy who is a whisper contact,
Mhm.
but the fact that
Well,
their
he's
crew
not.
is...
You don't think he's a whisper?
No, we know.
So you can
we know
communicate
he's,
with
he's,
people.
he's there, but he's part of a 4-rep crew, and he even had a backup guy that we drove off. So
Right.
I feel like they're like, we don't
With
know
a
who these people
ghost.
are, but
yeah. The wraith guy was scared of the ghost.
yeah. So
That was another spark right.
yeah.
Oh, it was a spark, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, cool.
Wraith guy probably wouldn't get that.
All
what I
right,
was thinking.
so that's 2. And then the last one, did you express the goals, drives, inner conflicts, or essential nature of the crew?
All we did was argue.
Express
Yes.
them
In
to
a
Gather
everyone,
information.
or express them amongst ourselves.
Within the fiction, like at the table. Did you express them outwardly to people watching?
I did.
You did, yeah? I think you two had some conflict moments. You two definitely did, where there was like tension in between you. We learned a bit more about your relationship. Like,
Mhm.
you know, we learned a bit more about your guys' relationship, that sort of thing.
Anyone watching would have noticed.
Uh-huh.
Wow, look at those guys.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Do you guys think that's worth 1 or 2 experience points?
I want to argue for 1 because I feel like we weren't
Yeah.
really doing it consciously, but we were just bad.
Yeah.
at it.
Well, it's fine if
The
you...
the arguing.
It's,
yeah.
it's fine if you're not. It's fine if that's how your crew is established.
I want to
though,
go
right?
with 1 because I think that it could be role played better.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
we
could force.
we
those
didn't
more.
do as much role playing as we
And part of that is just
will probably end up doing the next time.
well,
we
this
play.
this is just partially getting to know like how do we role play and how do we
Yeah.
plan in game.
Right.
Using
Yes,
this.
we're all
Right.
learning the system.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I'd say 1.
Cool. 1.
I wasn't nearly as flamboyant as I was anticipating and wanted to
You
be.
need,
Maybe it would
you
help
need to,
if
you
you
need
brought-
to
just
speak
didn't have
with
enough
drama.
opportunities.
What you need is a costume to inspire yourself.
No.
So you guys.
No.
Yes,
No.
a costume that is 80%
Hats.
scarves.
Wear the poofy shirt.
Yeah,
No.
scarf.
So you guys are 1 experience point away from leveling up the crew. That's
Scarves
great.
are last
Yep.
season.
That's
The fruit
Scarves are
jacket.
next season too.
that's the end of
Jacket.
experience, and that's it. We'll call it a session. Good luck,
Hurrah!
everybody.
And we look forward to feedback when this airs
Yes.
to see how
Okay.
we argue for our
Well,
experience points.
before it fades to black, we'll just say that we were talking, and because we didn't have a name at the beginning of the session, that I think the Shroud would be a pretty cool name
The Shroud is a
for
great name.
our group.
How does everybody feel about that?
I asked everybody, and I think everybody seems
Yeah, I
like
think
they
it's
like it.
success.
I have already written it down, meaning
Yeah.
that I am currently writing it
Makes
down.
it sound like we're like
Ryan,
information.
are you okay
brokers.
with it?
I'm fine. Yeah.
Because it sounds like it's mysterious.
Sure, it's
Uh-huh.
clothes.
It's
And you
about
look at-
like disguise, kind of. You
Yeah.
know?
Oh yeah.
And it sounds like a singular entity that's
It communicates
almost kind of
unity.
menacing. You know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay, cool. The Shroud. All right.
And
We're
it,
officially named.
The
it,
curtain.
it has nothing to do. It has nothing to do with like the winds of the mountains or the fucking fart in the wind.
What?
What?
That
Our
la-
last Blazing in the Dark game.
Oh yeah.
The whispering
The unending-
wind.
yeah, no, it doesn't. Thank you for that.
The
Thank
eternal
you so
wind or
much.
something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's on the channel. It's not like they can't forget.
Yeah.
I hope they forget.
Wait, what? So like,
I hope John Harper doesn't see this and go back and watch our old game now.
Go back and watch Blazing in the Dark Season 0.
This is a do-over.
So like what? Did you just have like a wind? And it was like.
No,
Yes.
I wasn't in it.
It was a win. They had so
He was in
We
it.
were a cult worshipping a fart.
Their
god.
lair, their lair was on a cliffside overlooking this wide open ocean, and the test of fate for the cult was you stand out on the cliff and fall over, and if the wind blows you back up and doesn't kill you by dropping you, you're in the cult.
That's how you know
Yeah.
that the
What
gods
is-
have spoken to you.
What
Right.
is Windy may
I
never
feel
die?
like you could just.
Wow.
So
I feel
puns
like
were-
I feel like the cult membership would be largely based on like how accurate they were at like looking at meteorological information for that day.
there was some of that,
Yeah.
but it evolved into lots
Like a
of like human
weatherman?
sacrifice.
To be honest, I feel like the cult is probably built up of people who lied about actually participating in the ritual.
Oh no, that was actually a whole part of it
Why
too.
does this
It's
end
like,
up
yeah,
being
I lived.
Yeah.
I totally
I totally
stood at the
jumped
end of
off.
a
What
cliff.
did this end up being about farts though?
It's because
just-
the name of the thing was the unending wind.
Yeah.
Like it was a straight up fart joke right from the start.
Yeah, so we just kept being able to
So
use
dumb.
that. And that was also a shtick, because there was a lot of like, human sacrifice going on, and there was that shtick about like people were like, yeah, we have our own abilities to make it look like we survived the test, when it's like, I'm not gonna go jump into the wind, that's stupid.
People describe the wind as silent, deadly.
Yes, that has come up. You should watch these videos. All those things have come up. Like,
It's on the channel.
yeah, you should watch it on the channel.
Rewatch it, everyone.
It is so funny, it's worth it.